Wow, that holy Jesus, that was quite the crowd noise. BSJ very well improved. Good job, my friend. One of the best segues I've heard in quite some time. Suns fan here with Cinnamon.
I have never been cheered for so loud in my entire life.
I think that was a sarcastic cheer, if I had to guess. I'm not sure if the spectators got to hear the same thing as us.
That was very loud.
But we do have Game 3 Syndrome between IG and TSpirit. First game I've gotten to cast the new, if you want to call it, I've been hoping for some time now. Your thoughts on this game number 3?
Yeah, I think the way BSJ broke it down is actually he just hit the nail on the head about what's going to happen in this game. It's an assassination game, and these games are super fun to watch because they're so explosive. There's like two, like he put it, there's 2 assassins on either team, right? Puck Tiny versus Spectre Storm, and that to me indicates that this could indeed be a game where you see that new meta Spectre build where you go for an earlier Aghanims. I think sometimes we see them go Echo Saber first into it. I believe I have even seen Tread's Ags straight away, but it does feel like the build of item is probably worth it. Yeah, Falcon Blade is also part of the build. I think it's going to be Tread's Falcon Ags, to be honest, but could opt for the Echo Saber if he sees value in it here. We're going to see. A little bit of a fight potentially breaking out.
Yeah, a rebuke from onto TORONTOTOKYO. A nice spin with the cookie setup. JT trying to get saved with a Nightmare, but this looks to be first blood going the way of TSpirit. Let's see if they can secure the bounty runes as well, although I don't think they're going to stick around that triangle in all likelihood. Maybe just leave Miposhka there for now. Of course, you can see they do have the ward, giving them good vision here. Another illusory orb just scouting things out. So very early aggression. BSJ just talked about it, that a lot of low cooldowns for TSpirit versus the long ones from IG.
Yeah,
and for sure, it's all about execution, which IG during this tournament have had some of the best execution of anything. I mean, they were top of their groups along with LGD in the opposing one, and that's why they're favored in this match. But yep, they have been extended to a Game 3 here by TSpirit.
I feel like when I look at the Spirit lineup, it reminds me a little bit of some strategies that Virtus.pro have run in the past with success, where they have this Juggernaut carry and they just play around hyper early aggression with all of these heroes that really thrive, and then you try to get the first Roshan and then you look to maybe even go high ground. I don't know if that's going to work out with an offlane Tiny in particular. A lot of the times those Juggernaut strategies would be coupled with something like a Dragon Knight or a Lone Druid or whatever, you know, that wants to hit towers, or even Pugna in some cases. So I think maybe that's what IG's read was in getting these greedier late game heroes, is that, well, even if Spirit do well early on, we think we can bridge the gap to a late game and then ultimately just overpower them with, you know, arguably by many considered the single best late game support in the whole game, Phoenix, played by Kaka, position 4. And then you have Storm Spec going late. You've got to feel pretty confident if you don't get crushed in the first 20 minutes here, right? Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been the wombo combo, if you want to call it that, for this last year, is the Mars Arena giving, you know, especially without the BKBs coming online, enough space for that egg to actually go off, and then eventually you probably will see Storm Ags in combination with that. They just have a lot of spells that work in tandem together. And then obviously Bane has been picked literally every game this series, and I was not expecting that, not gonna lie. And it won every game so far.
Yep,
so
indeed.
According to statistics, it's in the bag for IG.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, if there's one thing Dota loves, it's in the bag. Literally every hero has a voice line for predicting victory.
Skywrath has 10 that they forgot to actually split up into separate ones, and is now just one elongated.
Whoa, how is Emo destroying mid this hard? I just realized.
We're watching Kaka get slowly chased down by Miposhka. Oh. This is one of the longest chases of all time. He has 5 mangoes.
Possibly
another
dying.
Frostbite to come.
Yep.
And there we go. Another kill going the way of TSpirit. So yeah, mid lane 17-1 to 10-0.
This is not that Storm favorite of the lane. Emo's just outplaying here. TORONTOTOKYO by a decent amount in the first few waves. Good news if you're an IG fan. Getting Emo off to a good start. We've covered this in the last couple of games.
Yeah,
and he is exceptionally good on Storm. But like we talked again previously, he has also had a couple of like slightly, I don't know if you want to call them facepalm moments during, I think it was one of our games we cast where Emo just went way too crazy on Storm. I think they ended up winning anyway. But he is prone to a little bit of over-aggression at times, bottom lane. Decent damage onto JT. We'll reset away.
Just going to get salved and we'll be good to go. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. Just kind of overconfidence from Emo at times. But, I mean, talking about puck, though, TORONTOTOKYO's puck is really freaking good. We've cast a lot of his games. And some of them were pre-nerf, right? He's been nerfed since then. So
that's true.
A lot of games we've been seeing, you know, some mid laners partake in some puck and they haven't looked so good. So interested to see if TORONTOTOKYO does. But we saw it game 1 where he was split pushing with Invoker. He does a lot of that with puck, especially if he's behind. So we'll see.
Kind of a dangerous split push game though against Spectre Storm Bane. It's not going to be easy.
That's true.
This time around to do that. One of the big upsides to Bane that I think is underappreciated maybe sometimes. Everyone is very much focused around the the laning. Oh, hang on, he might actually die here.
Yeah, Avatos set up with the cookie and down goes Ollie. Scatterblast was enough.
Ironically, one of the things people consider so strong about Bane is the laning, as he just got crushed from full HP there. He's facing a really, really powerful lane here, with Snapfire being one of the worst matchups the hero has, in my opinion, in lane. But yeah, what Bane usually brings to the table, it's the pseudo-save of Nightmare, it's the grip, but also just the ability to, because you don't have the ability to wave clear, you never really need to show mid-late game at all. Like, you can sit in a tree line and wait for someone to go for the play we just talked about, where puck starts cutting waves, and then find a good pick that way.
And looking at flyfly CS right now, he is sitting on 18-2 versus the 21-6 Juggernaut, so relatively even across the position ones at least. But mid lane's still being dominated right now by Emo. A 10 CS lead at 4.5 minutes is...
That's substantial.
It is. TORONTOTOKYO is still getting pretty good farm. Like, this is probably normal farm. It's just Emo getting literally every last hit, it feels like.
TORONTOTOKYO is still ahead on net worth, but that's because he got first blood.
Yeah,
so
true.
Obviously, even with first blood in this mid lane, he was still... I don't know if I want to call it losing to Emo here, but Emo is definitely still having a great time. So, very well done by him.
Now we're going to see another Ava into the toss, back into Mira. Cookie does not connect.
Not a good cookie,
and
unfortunately.
Mira will fall as a result of this. Ollie takes a little residual damage from collapse in the meantime, but they'll have to just cut their losses.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And at bot lane now is JT. Had himself a pretty good series so far. He's had a really good group stage, I have to say. There's going to be the first coil of the game. It's going to be broken immediately into the Waning Rift, illusory orb.
Oh, it feels real bad if he doesn't get the kill here.
Fine, just barely.
Oh, it's one thing not getting the kill, but it's the time, right?
Yeah.
Storm is now 20 CS ahead. He's pushing them.
Avatos, Scatterblast, Fire, or Flyfly. Looks like he's actually going to live. Spectre, one of the tankier position ones in the game.
Definitely major upside against a lane like this that is so burst oriented.
As an off-lane Tiny, do you think, I mean, you still go Silver Edge at some point against Spectre, right?
Maybe you can do that on Jugger. I think it depends what they value the most out of their Tiny, because he could also go for like a catch build. That's a dead lane, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, nice fairy.
All right, he's going to live for a little bit, but the toss finishes him off. 4-1 advantage for TSpirit. So game 2 and 3 starting off kind of similarly in terms of the kills, but it's really the mid lane that's the story right now. But we can just call it a wash just because of that first blood.
Pretty much. And again, I think the two heroes on IG that you could be concerned about, because they are very much dependent on that good start. I think both Storm and Spectre are feeling pretty good about this, right? Flyfly has a kill and 30 CS, and Emo must be, you know, you have like a mental checklist for what's good farm. Having 10 CS per minute, minute 7 a Storm, you're pretty happy with that. It's not going to get, like, how can you get more than this, theoretically, apart from having a guy stacking all your camps? He's basically got everything he can. So
no, that's very true. Looks like Collapse is, well, we're going to see the coil in the mid lane. And Mira kind of coming in the vicinity here, but Ollie is TP'd as well. TORONTOTOKYO trying to get the first damage. Scatterblast is going to be enough. TORONTOTOKYO takes out Emo. Mira gets slept, but there's not going to be a whole lot of damage between this Phoenix and Bane, and Ollie, he's completely surrounded here. A couple more right clicks, and the loser. A double kill for TORONTOTOKYO as TSpirit doing very well.
I love the way that that TORONTOTOKYO used the silence there. He was very patient. He saw the Bane TP coming. Okay, Cookie.
Yeah,
that's
Cookie
cute.
on the creep. Do they have Frostbite with the illusory orb? It's not the triple kill, but we call it that as Haunt comes in. First of the game, they're going to try to go for TORONTOTOKYO. The zip in from Emo. He wants revenge. Illusory orb, but Looks like TORONTOTOKYO will fall, and now Miposhka might be next on the list. Gets off the frostbite, and Emo not with a ton of mana left, but flyfly will be trying to pursue. In fact, Emo might be in trouble here. Yataro's made a transition. It doesn't look like the cookie connects, so away Emo goes.
Well, flyfly gets to the high ground, but he has mana for TP now. He has to get out of there immediately.
Yeah,
and he will make it. So, yeah, it looked like a nice kill. I really like the way they cast their spells to execute this kill on the Phoenix behind the tower, but of course it does compromise Puck's position just enough that Storm respawns and finds that counter kill.
Mars Arena collapse, ends up getting procced by the spear, and Emo cleans it up. Eventually, JT gets credit for that one. So nice rotations. Is feels like at 8.5 minutes we've had a trade of tier 1 top and bottom in both games, and that's not even remotely the case this time around.
Well, Spirit have done more structural damage for sure. Like wait, have IG? Okay, IG have hit a tower. They've hit a little bit on mid and top, but yeah, the top tower for Spirit looking a lot healthier. So all in all, still very, very close early on, and you just gotta wonder what's gonna happen as soon as the first round of items comes in, right? So Storm is queuing up the Orchid, Puck is going Boots of Travel, it looks like here at TORONTOTOKYO. Not too uncommon, but also a little bit risky sometimes, especially playing against a hero like Storm who wants to go Orchid. Yeah. You're not gonna be like that step ahead where you already have the Yules when the Orchid comes out, so you are a little bit exposed that way. But
I mean, he's definitely made it work in many games that we've casted him in the past, so see if that comes to be again. Of course, it is against Emo, like you said. An absolute beast. TORONTOTOKYO about to hit level 9 here. Has his coil available. Looking for an opening. His collapse. Trying to bait a bit. Oh, spear does not connect with a tree, but here comes the coil from afar into the ult from Snapfire. Avalanche to follow. Ollie's in the vicinity. He gets off the Nightmare, but looks like JT's going to barely tick out there. They expend a lot. TP support from IG. And TSpirit get the kill. And they're going to try to go for this tier 1 top as well. And they're going to be stopped in their tracks for now. TORONTOTOKYO picks up a double damage rune. Was not denied by an illusion this time. And Yatoro.
It's kind of incredible. He could find an angle for that spear to not land on the tree.
Yeah, that was
such a small window.
Well, I think one tree was missing at that time as well.
Yeah, the one in between them at the back, but still, even then, it's pretty narrow window there.
It looks like IG's going to defend here. They will be successful. But yeah, Yatoro is farming really well, actually. I mean, Spectre's one of those heroes that farms a little bit slower, at least at the beginning stages, than Juggernaut, but they're basically on the same footing right now. But yeah, it will be Aghanim Scepter for flyfly eventually after the Falcon Blade, so he will not be going for, well, maybe Orchid after, we'll see. Yeah, collapse, gonna get the Avalanche into the cookie, into the toss as well. Scatterblast turns them up there. We see another coil expended for JT. He gets off his ult as TP supports are on their way. He's gonna get bursted down though, and Emo with flyfly coming in on that haunt. They're gonna be able to clean up 2 kills right off the bat, but it's just 2 supports. Double kill for flyfly. Now TORONTOTOKYO's here with the double damage. Of course, no coil, 60 seconds on the deck here, but gets the Waning Rift. Not sure if he's going to finish this off. Toss onto Emo. Yatoro has a healing ward. He's going to try to spin here. He's taking a ton of damage in the meantime, though. He's just going to get right-clicked down very casually by Emo. And you see the egg on the backside here, but it won't end up resulting in any kind of stun. So a little bit too aggressive, perhaps. They're staying too long for TSpirit.
What is it with TI and tossing people from your own team into trouble, huh? That's a pretty...
It's so tempting.
Memorable moment from a different year. I don't think that one was on purpose, though. This one was. But that toss did not work out the way they wanted it to. And they even got a really good Avalanche, because Jugger got Fiend Script, and immediately Avalanche canceled the Fiend Script, and he still couldn't get the Omnislash off.
Yeah. You can see the replay here. So they end up killing the Phoenix, who, the fact that he eggs at the end of this fight just shows how long it went here. A very extended fight overall.
And this is what IG's lineup can do. The moment you start committing, this global presence of Storm Spec can always come in and punish when cooldowns are out. And it's very understandable that Spirit want to chase here, right? You have a DD puck, you know the enemy team is somewhat out of resources. Sidestep from TORONTOTOKYO there to not get Fiend's grip, but here is the problem. So instant cancel on that grip.
Yeah, and he never Omni Slashes either.
He's
Maybe
taking too much
not
damage.
Sure he would have gotten
right
a kill.
clicks.
Yeah. He's yet to actually Omni Slash this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse, honestly. Collapse did live at the very least, but...
And now Collapse will take that top tower, obviously, with those cooldowns not ready for IG. They're not interested in trying to defend without Supernova or Haunt, so a little bit of a silver lining there, at least that they grab the first tower of the game, but the question is if they're going to be able to defend their own bottom as well, or if it's just going to be a trade in the end. Kaka's eyeing up a Yules. I think it's probably a pretty good choice here. Maybe he's worried about the puck silence, and he wants to make sure that he can get his Supernova off. Just TPing bot, yeah, it's going to be a tower trade. They're making very sure here. TPing Phoenix bottom here is basically them saying, all right, we take no risk here, just in case Spirit want to defend. Since they have Omni, we're going to have as many heroes as possible in the neighborhood, and now they realize, okay, defense is not coming, so they're going to rotate. And Kaka will maybe stack a little bit of Ancients here. I don't know if they want to do that. Seems like that's a yes.
Yeah, Ollie TP's mid. Looks like IG want to defend this mid tower potentially. But Team Spirit is completely set up here. Yatoro is at half HP though, does not have Healing Ward to use. And we'll see how they want to actually initiate here. As there's the toss back onto JT, gets silenced right off the bat, can't get his Mars Arena off. Nice layering with the cookie, but the Arena actually blocks off the Snapfire. He cannot kill the egg as a result. That's one death, make it two, and Team Spirit getting destroyed in this fight. The Mars Arena perfectly placed. We talked about that combo as Yatoro now on the run. Spin TP looks to be successful.
Such a godly setup there from IG. They make sure that the one hero that can be caught is JT on the Mars. He instantly uses the hood, and then they get in and get the counterplay with a great Supernova Arena combo, and they instantly Fiend script the Snapfire as well, who was part of coming in close for the extra burst. But that obviously means that there's no Mortimer Kisses. That's one of the problems with this hero in some situations, is that you always need to gauge what distance you want to play at, right? It's rare that you find a fight where all of your spells get used well. It's generally either the up-close ones or the long-range one. In that situation for Mira, it would have probably been better to stand further back and get that ult off for a massive amount of damage in the arena. But, yep, he got taken out, so made that an easy hold for IG.
Yeah, now flyfly, top of the net worth. I believe Aghanim Scepter is being delivered as we speak. So essentially he gets, I guess you can call it a mini haunt. You have to have vision of the target. A single haunt. A single, what do I actually call it? A
Shadow Step. How about that? What do you think? Do you think that's a good name?
A single haunt is better, I think.
Yeah, you definitely designed Slaughter.
But it also applies a Spectral Dagger, so I would assume he's going to go for all the talents that line up with that.
Just already taken the dagger talent on level 10, which is very common.
Single target, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Single target haunt.
Single target haunt, yeah. Very accurate.
That is pretty much the worst name you could give a spell that I can imagine.
Well, amplify damage.
That's better.
Oh, Avatos from Collapse. They're going to be able to blow up the Bane right off the bat. Expended coil as well. Look at JT somehow surviving through all this. The hood plus the Sunray.
Mind you, that's only level 2 Sunray, actually. That wasn't even a maxed out one, but just the hood facing the right way and getting Sunrayed really can keep JT alive for a long time. They do get the pick on Bane.
And this is going to be the crucial part of the game for IG, or if I guess you can look at Team Spirit's perspective as well, but Orchid on Emo. And right now, TORONTOTOKYO has nothing to take it up. In fact, he doesn't even have anything queued up that will dispel that. Went for the Kaya. We'll be going for Blink next.
It's dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
It's so dangerous when you're not playing with a save, right? It maybe sometimes you can justify this a little bit easier if there's someone who can, very good.
Well, you get some HP. It's something.
When Snap is level 15.
Yeah, eventually they'll get there. The Orchid.
Level 15, the 200 heal from Cookie.
The Orchid will have done its work by then, I'm sure. But
yeah.
I mean, it is risky, but I mean, TORONTOTOKYO, he typically always plays like this, and it pays off a lot.
A lot of
very often for him.
That's the thing about Glass Cannon builds, that if the situation is correct, it's very good, and it's kind of just, you're just polarizing your play, right? You're saying, okay, in good situations I'm better, and in bad situations I'm worse.
Yeah.
And they're relying on having superior vision or getting the initiation with Tiny, which he can, for the most part, trust Collapse to do.
Oh, there we're going to see the Orchid. We just talked about it. All right, too risky, Cinderin. Too risky indeed. Mira, not in the right position, although the cookie, as you explained, would have made a difference here.
For what it's worth, he would have also died.
Oh man, they're actually gripping
no,
collapse as well. This is going to end up being a team wipe if they're not careful. Double kill for Emo, 4 dead for Spirit.
Good God, they're just getting caught in 2 different places with 2 different heroes, just being fragmented there. I mean, for what it's worth, the kill on the puck had nothing to do with his item ability. He has Yules there, he still dies. He was just getting killed within the vortex pull. But yeah, it's a problem. The Spectre is so farmed that I don't know how TSpirit can really handle this. Their lineup kind of has to win early. You're going to see it here.
Actually, he did have time if he had Yules, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe he could have reacted really fast and got it off before he got
had like
vortex.
half a second.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Could have possibly worked, but
somebody record that line. I haven't heard that before. You're right. Thank you. But yeah, this was a disastrous fight to TSpirit, and
I was talking to production. They were saying, since you're really smart. And I was like, you're right.
All right,
you know?
fair enough.
So, yeah.
Fair enough. It makes sense now. IG with a 5.45455K net worth lead. Keeps going back and forth. And that is, for 18.5 minutes, that is a crazy lead. And the fact that you have the Spectre, you have the Storm, that feels very bad for TSpirit. And this should as well. TORONTOTOKYO evaporates.
I mean, he is going all around the world right now.
94% win probability. IG, after that game 1, I don't know what you want to call that. That was a very surprising win for Spirit. And you got to give Spirit credit for that as well.
Of course.
But after that, IG have they've been looking just like they did in the group stage.
Yeah, and it looks like Yatoro could be in trouble here. They have all the vision and info. They're just waiting.
Spin. They don't have grip right now. There is the Mars Arena into the spear. Very patient play from IG. And they are actually shellacking TSpirit right now, Cinderin. This is rough.
I've casted a lot of games, Shannon.
Yes.
I've seen closer games than this.
Have you?
Yes. I have to admit. I have seen closer games. I've also seen less close games. But comparatively, when you think about how game 1 and 2 went, this is turning into an absolute stomp. And it's not, you don't just look at the numerical values, right? Okay, you're 6K hit minute 20. That's already good. It's the heroes that you did it with.
Yeah.
Right? The scaling possibility in this dire lineup is so superior to that of the Radiant. And TSpirit, honestly, I kind of like from them that they went in with this kind of, confidence and mentality in this game. Okay, we see their heroes. We're going to pick something that's good. But in terms of execution requirement, they have so little margin for error in the first 15 minutes with this lineup. They have to be ahead on kills. They have to do better in lanes than they did. And now that we're not at that stage anymore, it just feels like it's kind of cruise control for IG right now. Wait for every time you have, what's it called? Sorry, single target haunt ready. Then you use that to kill a hero.
Thank you.
And then you also have every target haunt, which is your ulti.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's very accurate. I like that.
And you just, every time those things are ready, you try to find picks with Storm.
Easier to understand as well. 7K net worth lead for IG. They have 4-man smoke right now. And Spirit just has to play in this type of way where they have a couple heroes just kind of shadowing somebody that's pushing just to be able to save them potentially, or at least create some havoc. But it's going to be an uphill battle overall.
The Kaya Sanj. He has died in the other 2 lanes in the last 4 minutes. Will he die in the third one?
Again, TORONTOTOKYO gets off the phase shift this time, but the last one links out to safety, and it looks like Puck's going to live through this engagement. In fact, they get the root, the coil onto Emo, but that is just the Aegis right now. The spin from Yatoro comes through, has yet to Omni-Slash this entire game. Fiend's Grip will disallow that from being a thing as well. And now the jump in from Emo after the Aegis has been expended. 3 deaths. All they lose is Aegis. I can't get over that there has not been an Omni-Slash this game. You don't, that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it makes any difference in these fights because it's getting to be very one-sided now.
Honestly, it's a really hard jug game, actually, I think. Oh, flyfly almost soloing TORONTOTOKYO.
Oh, the jump in from Emo. 11K now, and this is without even the tier 2 towers being killed yet. BKB now online for Emo. Looking to add insult to injury. Of course, they don't have Aegis to work with as we're looking at the replay here.
This is a really good play from TORONTOTOKYO, by the way. He phase shifted the initiation, then he gets a 2-hero silence, one of which is the Storm, and then he escapes this after. He could not possibly have done more in that fight on the puck, but again, who's going to stop the Bane in this situation from Fiend's gripping the jug? As soon as all the spells are cast and Bane is unaccounted for, that's when this hero really shines. Just goes in and takes out the carry from the fight entirely. JT's having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. But IG sometimes in the past, as we saw in game one, a little bit too confident sometimes. You know, it happens to the best of us. But I think they've learned their lesson, and I would be surprised if they don't just continue to grow this lead. Ollie gets off the Nightmare.
Is he actually going to escape here? Oh.
Yeah, looks like that's the case. Basically nullifies a smoke from TSpirit. Now IG are aware, as Kaka's working for a refresher already on the Phoenix. My goodness.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Well, actually, does he even have the mana to support it? He probably
That's a good question.
It barely does.
I'm sure he's done the math. Do they allow calculators in the booths?
Maybe that's the one tool you would be allowed to have in there. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Flyfly up. He's gonna get the single target haunt off, and we'll go back to where he came. So ends up baiting out most of TSpirit, including the freezing field.
And that's another thing about Spectre when it has this item is if you want to gank Spec, you kind of need to either have full chain stun and silence until it dies, or you need to be all 5 heroes there. You can't just press a button and escape globally. It's very, very annoying for TSpirit to deal with here. And IG are immediately going to make their own move. I love this. You know, you used Shadow Step, but you're ready to go once again. Immediately smoked up the other 4 heroes, and this is a dead Crystal Maiden. The question is, are they going to get any more? Emo with a long jump.
Yep, and they're going to get a second.
Oh, baby,
Sapphire
a double.
CM Dunzo. And the fact that this this Shadow Step is only a 30-second cooldown, kind of crazy.
It's an insane act.
You have constant global ability as Collapse.
He's going to join bottom.
Yep. This is getting out of control as IG dominating right now. But all top three net worths on their team. Probably just waiting for the next Roche just to make sure that you know, they have things in hand. They don't want to get overconfident again. And
do they see TORONTOTOKYO? They don't have vision of him right now. He's standing there in the tree line.
Yeah.
If Bane were to randomly walk in there, TORONTOTOKYO actually dies. Because Storm has the Orchid, but he obviously does have the vision advantage himself from that high ground ward.
So he does have Kaya Sange now on TORONTOTOKYO. So status resist against the Orchid. That's something. It's not a dispel, but we'll be going for the... See, now I actually agree with going like Blink Dagger and all these other items. When you're at this point, you need to play a little riskier, I feel like. If you go for a defensive build, I don't think that helps you back in the game, necessarily. Kind of got to go all in here.
The question is if you could have got the dagger before even your travels. Like if you wanted to play hyper-aggressive with your team, was travels the choice that enabled that the most? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that, but I do feel like usually the Travels Kaya Sange build is more of a greedier approach to puck. And I don't think being greedy in this game, I mean, it's not easy to say in hindsight because they got rolled in all the fights, right? But, oh, Emo is searching out here. Won't find yet. Mira is going to walk into Kaka. He's dead.
Yep, there's the Yules, and will be left to die in all likelihood. JT jumps in as well. Lead continues to grow here for IG as they try to get as much map control as possible to starve out TSpirit, and obviously still waiting for Roche number 2. In which case we can have a very long discussion about shards, as is the tradition. Flyfly working on a Scotty for himself. And I mean, you just look at the farm discrepancy.
Nightmare.
Oh boy. Yeah, Nightmare setup. Grip. Oh, Collapse jumps in, gets the avalanche. And Emo trying to finish off Puck in the meantime. It's going to be close. Looks like he'll find him. And Collapse dies as well. So it feels like IG, there's like no opening for TSpirit.
No.
Like this is the opening. Yatoro can get a couple creeps while the rest of his team dies. That's like the unfortunate, oh boy. He might actually get caught here as well.
Oh, no, 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 no.
No,
okay,
he's fine. But he has Manta, Echo Saber.
Okay. He finds it.
Yep, Mira. Believe he died in this same spot last time around. Collecting gravestones there. As we'll know, I believe in 30 seconds for Roche.
middle tower is
I mean, from TSpirit's perspective, Cinder, what can you do? Like, you're... Oh, Miposhka. He will actually live. That's the first surprise that's happened in the last 5 minutes. What can TSpirit do to try to creep back in this game? Really taking your time here.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm running the simulation, so I'll get back to you in a second.
Okay, no
I need
worries.
a pretty big Monte Carlo sample here. I'm typing to Knoxville as we speak too.
Very good.
How many, what is it in, which movie is it again, where they manipulate time and there's one possibility out of a million, whatever, not Captain, what's it called? You know this, you know movies.
Good discussion, Cinder. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I watched this movie. I can't remember what it's called.
You're talking about Inception or something?
No, not Inception.
Okay. Well, you're the one that's only watched 5 movies in your life, so pick one of them.
It's from the Avengers movie, that's right. It's one of the Avengers.
No wonder, I know, yeah.
One out of many, many, many possibilities here. That is what we're looking at for TSpirit. It is, honestly, it is a total miracle comeback if they do it. Gabe Newell gives them 1%.
Okay.
Gracious Gabe.
That's something.
Always stays positive.
Yeah.
We've had games that were over, that said 5%.
Literally over, yeah. Actually, there was a game that was 100% win rate.
Yeah. It does happen
in this group stage.
Occasionally. It's obviously rounded up. The game is never truly over until it's over. Things can happen.
Absolutely.
But for TSpirit, I don't know, you've got to go for some sort of Hail Mary, and I feel like you should have done that for the last 10 or 15 minutes, and they've kind of tried, you know. It's not like they've just been sitting around getting dominated, but
yep.
They're getting chased around the map by
Miposhka is dead. Yatoro spin TP. Looks like he'll be successful. No bash or anything like that for flyfly, but...
It's like every time you blink, somebody just gets jumped somewhere by Storm or Spectre, right?
Yeah.
So you only really find opportunities by going together and looking for a team fight, but the problem is in order to set up a team fight with the nature of how the Dire are playing here, IG make sure to push in all the lanes. So if you want to find that move, generally what sets you up to make aggressive moves is that you've pushed at least 2 waves across the river, but every time they split up to try and push the waves, they get ganked. So it's like,
yeah,
it's kind of a checkmate situation where you need to somehow magically dodge the ganks for a full minute.
And Shard, I assume Emo will take the Shard.
Yes,
Indeed.
he will. Good call.
Thank you, thank you. So he's going to get the overload active that allows him to use on his teammates. Now has a haste rune to boot.
I didn't know that had a mana cost, actually.
What is the mana cost?
150.
Well, it's actually, yeah, it's quite a bit, actually. It's very good, though, so.
It is very
You get 3 procs on everybody that you cast it on.
Smoke from IG. JT is ready to go in. He has BKB.
Oh, smoke from TSpirit as well. Miposhka is going to be the sacrifice.
Hello, says Emo.
He tanks the gank. I mean, that is actually an okay scenario for TSpirit.
Yeah, it shows what kind of a game it is when you're happy one guy dies.
Yep.
But there isn't really much need to sugarcoat it, you know? They're just getting owned. Like, they got ran over in the stage of the game that they had to win, and now they're just paying the price. That's a death.
TORONTOTOKYO, Orchid death again.
Yeah.
You just can't do anything with this item set versus the Orchid specifically. Is Kaka collapse, gets off the Avatos. All right, they find a residual kill at least.
Kill for Yatoro. He's working his way toward a silver edge. Maybe that's their idea here. It's like, okay, Spectre's too big. We need a silver to have a chance. Oh, dear.
Flyfly comes in.
He just doesn't care. He jumped into 3 heroes.
Kills the ward, gets some free gold. Emo basically out of mana.
Oh, Mira is in trouble.
Mira is dead. Okay, he actually has Shard on Mira. Didn't realize that. Gives you a little shotgun blast. But IG just getting whatever they want. And still 3 minutes to go on the Aegis, so expect them to, I would assume, try to go high ground here.
Yeah,
they have a gigantic lead.
All right.
Did we do it?
Gaben has called it.
What is it, 100?
Gabe is like, welcome to the international TSpirit. I give you 0% chance of winning this game. But remember, it is rounded up. So this could be anywhere between 99.5 to 100.
Right.
If there's anything I know...
Big difference.
Then I don't know if that's useful here.
That's usually the case, actually. TORONTOTOKYO working on a Lincoln Sphere. That'll help him. But Yatoro, spin TP. Right. Do they have the damage? Okay. No. I mean, if they really cared about this, they would get a basher on the Spectre, but him spend TPing, it just forces him out and he can't farm anymore, so they don't really care that much. It's not like they need these extra kills as much at this point in the game. But yeah, this Linken's would be great. But, all right, phase shift.
Good shift.
Staying alive. Gets off the coil. Illusory orb to the other side as well. And now his teammates have come. Yatoro. Oh. All right, we're going to see the Haunt come in. That's the Omni Slash. It's bouncing on all the illusions, though, but they'll find the Mars in the end. But Collapse is dead. TORONTOTOKYO's dead. And TSpirit crumbling here. Mira not able to TP out. Double kill for flyfly. And Yatoro looks to be the last remaining member of Spirit, but not for long. Just trying to extend. Okay, Spectral Dagger comes through again. The Shadow Blade's out. I wonder if he might get out here. Doesn't have TP for another 20 seconds. He's just going to farm some creeps. Can't blame him.
Well, he did save the healing ward, so his spiritual successor, Cat, is making its way down the lane.
It's a golden cat, actually.
The sole survivor of TSpirit is a golden cat waving goodbye to the game.
Oh, no. Oh, and it dies of its own accord.
The cat gets killed by the creep wave. Now, if that isn't a metaphor for this game for TSpirit, then I don't know.
13:37 is the scoreline. You're seeing that correctly. As we see a replay here. Yeah, TORONTOTOKYO did a good job of staying alive here, baiting out a bunch of spells. I thought this was like the open opportunity, potentially. But Yataro's ult just bounces to all the illusions for the most part. Very
ultimately does get the Mars, but if it can't connect on multiple heroes, you just don't have enough in the tank for the rest, right?
I mean, having to use that on Mars to begin with, who's already used his spells, doesn't feel good either, I'm sure. That Spirit in good spirits, though, so that's it. Of course, this is not an elimination game. Loser goes to the lower bracket, and winner continues on. But it is a big deal. Like, top 12 is guaranteed right now. If you win this series, you're top 6 guaranteed. That's a huge jump in prize pool and prestige.
And potential, because obviously the grind in the lower bracket is something that has been achieved, but a team going all the way from round 1 or round 2 in lower bracket is rare. You need to get through so many obstacles.
Indeed. TORONTOTOKYO, he gets hexed and brought down again.
Some fancy footwork, but it's not really a fair fight when you're moving at normal move speed and the other enemy team has heroes that see you everywhere and move at 1,000 move speed.
Oh my god, JT blinks out. Dodges the avalanche. Yatoro has to use the cat, his spiritual successor. I believe it was just dropped dead as well. Trying to get out of dodge here, but he's going to get stunned up and brought down in quick succession. This is looking like it is over. TORONTOTOKYO buys back in the game. It's just him and Collapse.
Well, I guess at this point, IG are kind of farming fantasy points for me. That's not bad. I do have Emo today,
the Basher online now for flyfly, so that is a canceled TP. Emo, basically no mana to speak of, but Collapse already used his teleport scroll, and flyfly just awkwardly runs into and gets the bash. This will be a slow death, but IG will find yet another one.
They have 2 players beyond godlike. Flyfly is 16-0, Emo is 16-1.
Yeah.
Damn, that's some good old fantasy stomps.
Oh, this is going to be a dieback.
Okay.
It's looking rough. IG making it known that they indeed, despite losing game 1, are an absolute powerhouse.
I have a plan for Spirit, okay?
Okay.
Tower is under attack.
All right. Well said. Eloquent as always, Cinder. I really appreciate you joining me. JT gets a courier, and well, Yatoro. All right, they might actually be able to get this. That's the Silver Edge break with the Omni Slash. All right, down he goes, but the grip to counteract from Ollie. Flyfly jumps in. Basher. Too much to handle for Yatoro. And now they finally go for buildings. 31K net worth lead. This is a Gaben level shellacking right here, Cinderin.
Yeah. What can you say though? IG earned it. They played super well this game. They did so many things right. Especially something that's always enjoyable to watch at the top level is how players play around each other, right? The prediction of what the next move is from the enemy team. You have Bane covering. Right, we got a little bit of Haunt.
Yeah. Emo just wanting to clean up some more kills, and they'll find whatever they want.
All right.
And they get that first set of racks. The fact that that's the first set of racks is actually feels weird, right?
Oh, you won't believe this. They have a 101% chance of winning now.
I'll bet.
It is actually
baited. One day, maybe in the next patch they'll add that.
But it is rounded up, so it's probably about 100.
All right, so IG, they can only go for 2. They don't have the craziest building takers.
Right, collapse. Gonna get single target haunted. No, that was actually the multi-target haunt.
No,
and
like
will not reach the abyssal here in time.
That's a big cooldown. All right, so they can only get the melee racks top, but that's good enough. And obviously they weren't able to push more than that because the tier 2 still survives for TSpirit. They got one more fight in them. They have a bunch of diebacks. And by a bunch, I mean one, but yeah, that is a dead juggernaut. Mira and company look to be next on the list for IG. And IG making a statement again, Cinderin. We're going for the win. Collapse.
They got Bane.
Yep, they got him.
Okay.
Collapse looks to be mega dead. As this game is still extending for some reason. TORONTOTOKYO, okay, we have the refresher onto the Phoenix, into the egg. TORONTOTOKYO is dead. I feel like I've been saying that a lot this game.
Yep.
49 to 15.
Oh, here comes Collapse. He's going to kill Kaka.
Yep. All right. I mean, Collapse does do a significant amount of damage if he's able to just walk up with the
He got
silver
2
edge.
levels from killing the enemy support.
Yep. He's going to get sheep for his troubles. And flyfly with the spectral dagger. And another kill goes JT's way. But if they had a team that could push towers, this game would have been over 20 minutes ago, honestly. It's just their building hitters are not anything special. So the game shall go on, it seems. Starting to feel like the elephant game, actually, that we cast earlier. That was a 65k net worth lead, though, so maybe not quite there.
At the end, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about this, though, is that IG are making moves non-stop. They're not just sitting back farming, right?
Yeah.
They're actually just killing the enemy team over and over and over and over again. They're just not worth very much anymore.
Yeah, we have the Abyssal Blade initiation. Mira gets a beautiful cookie stun, but it's really not going to matter in the end. If the farm was a little bit more matched, that could have made all the difference. But they are just so far behind right now.
I feel like I've seen the same play literally 20 times in a row now.
Yep.
It's actually just the same play over and over and over
That's because it's a 30-second cooldown on Shadow Step. It's crazy. It's so
true.
good.
20 times in a row is just 10 minutes if he uses it every time it's ready.
That's right.
So it kind of checks out.
When it first came out, it was, oh, we're going to see it used again.
Okay.
Into yet another kill. Now we're fountain farming, it seems, for IG. Spirit still holding on. Miposhka is going to ult in his fountain for good rapport and morale.
Let's quickly talk predictions. So what are we at right now? We're at 70 kills.
It's GG, Cinder.
Oh, okay.
GG as IG take game 3 in a very convincing fashion. That means that they will be top 6 guaranteed now, Cinderin. We don't know who they're going to play, obviously, since this is the first upper bracket best of 3.